Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. Now please note that our Diwali sale is going on till 19th of October. If you want to buy our pen drive course for RBI Grade B, IBPS, PO, SSC or UPSC, then our pen drive courses are available. Dial one of the two numbers given here. In this video, I will bring to you part 2 of the banking awareness of the last 3 months in English language, and part 1 got great response from all of you. This is part 2 and I'll follow it up with part 3, 4, etc. I'll try to bring maximum part. In this part, I will focus mainly on the government side, and in part 3, I will focus mainly on the RBI side. In the part 1, I mainly focused on Asian Development Bank and GDP growth rates, etc. Part 4, I will cover mergers, acquisitions and these kind of things. So let's begin part 2. First, let's talk about commemorative coin. What is a commemorative coin? What is the meaning of the word commemoration? The word commemoration comes from the word memory. That means when you want to honor someone, in memory of someone, when you launch coin, that is called a commemorative coin. And usually these are a political tool also. Before I start the video, let me ask you a question. India has an oil exploration platform which is called Sagar Samrat, which means king of the sea. It is an oil exploration platform. On which note you will find the photo of Sagar Samrat? Which denomination note? Write down in comments. Now, remember, India's first commemorative coin was issued way back in 1964 to honor India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, who also happened to pass away, that the same year. 1964, Jawaharlal Nehru passed away, and to commemorate him, to honor him, a coin was launched in 1964. That was the first ever coin. The government, this year, what has happened in 2017, let's sum it up. So, the great singer, Karnataka, also some people used to call her Amma also, Miss Subbulakshmi, MS Subbulakshmi, she is also a Bharat Ratna awardee, the highest civilian honor of India, and to commemorate her, commemorative coins of 100 rupee and 10 rupee were launched, issued by the government. So this is the coin, and it is available in two denominations, 100 rupee and 10 rupee. And you can see the photo of MS Subbulakshmi. She was born in the year 1916, and so 2016 marked 100 years of her birth anniversary. Second coin that this year government has launched is Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. His birthday we celebrate as National Teachers Day on 5th of September. He was the first Vice President of India, and he was the second President of India after Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and he is only one of the two Vice Presidents of India who have done 2 terms, that is 10 years. Hamid Ansari and Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan are the only 2 Vice Presidents of India who have served 2 terms as Vice President of India. And recently, you can see here 125th birth anniversary. So his 125th birth anniversary was celebrated, and on this occasion, 2 commemorative coins were launched this year on 5th of September 2017. So one was a rupee 125 coin and one is 10 rupee coin. Now let's talk about the great MGR, MG Ramachandran. He was a great actor, one of the greatest, if not the greatest Tamil actor. He was also the founder of a party called AIADMK, which right now is the ruling party. All India Anna Dravid Munitra Kazhagam. This is the party. And remember that right now Chief Minister is Edappadi Palaniswamy, who wrote a letter to the government that commemorative coins should be launched for MGR, and they did it. So 100 rupee and 5 rupee coins for AIADMK founder, ex-Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and a great actor MGR launched. 2 coins were launched by Reserve Bank of India this year. One is to commemorate 125th year of the National Archives of India. You can see National Archives of India, it is an organization, and it completed 125 years. So 10 rupee coin was launched for the same. It was put into circulation. Now one thing I want to make it very clear, 100 rupee coin, Reserve Bank of India has made it very clear that it will not be used for daily transaction. It will be only used for commemorative purposes, 100 rupee coin. And also Allahabad High Court, by the way, just 1 hour back, Allahabad High Court was in news because it has acquitted the Talwar couple from the so-called indictment of the murder of their daughter Arushi Talwar. So Allahabad High Court, it completed 150th anniversary. So it was established in 1866, and in 2016 it completed 150 years. And to commemorate that, 5 rupee coins were launched. Now let's talk about a great saint of India. He was a Jain poet, he was a thinker, he was a writer, he was the spiritual mentor of Mahatma Gandhi ji, father of the nation. His name was Srimad Rajchandra ji. He was a Gujarati, and on his occasion of 150th birth anniversary, Government of India launched a stamp, postal stamp of 5 rupee and coins of 150 and 10 rupee denomination, because it was 150th birth anniversary of the great saint Srimad Rajchandra ji. Also, Mysore University completed 100 years, and for that, the government of Karnataka launched 100 rupee coin and 5 rupee denomination coin to commemorate 100 years of University of Mysore. Now let's talk about the new 200 rupee note that has been launched by the government of India. It is for the first time that the Reserve Bank of India has put into circulation a 200 rupee note. And let me tell you about it. So you can see the front side of the note. Look at this part of the note. It is called latent image. Latent image is that if you tilt the note by 45 degree, if you tilt the note in a 45 degree, you will see 200 written here. Right now you can't see because you have to tilt the note. And this particular thing is called as a see-through register. You can see through it, but only when you put light onto it. And this is the security panel, windowed security panel. And this is the address by the guarantee clause by the Reserve Bank of India governor. Remember that 1 rupee note is signed by the secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Finance Secretary of India. But all the other notes are signed by the honorary governor of the Reserve Bank of India. And on the back side of the note, front side of the note is called obverse view or the front view, and the back side is called the reverse view. So on the reverse side, you will see Sanchi Stupa. Sanchi Stupa is a Buddhist architecture which was embraced by Samrat Ashoka, because after the Kalinga War, Samrat Ashoka embraced Buddhism. So that's all you need to know about it. This is the obverse view, this is the reverse view, and you can see here that this is what you call a see-through register. You put the torch, you put the light, and you will see 200 written here. Now, of course, this is 2000 rupee note, but if it is a 200 rupee note, you will see it. And you will see 200 written in Devanagari script, Hindi, and all the same usual things, RBI, Bharat, Mahatma Gandhi photo on the front side. And this is what you call a security thread. Now, why this is important is because look at the color of the security thread. It is green, right? You can see it is green, but if you tilt the note, it will become blue. It will become blue if you slant the note or tilt the note slightly. Similarly, you can see 200 written here. Okay, this is also a security feature. It is green right now, but if you tilt the note, it will also become blue. And all these things, you can see here, these are 4 horizontal lines, and in between you have 2 circular lines, and these are slightly raised from the surface, so that if a blind person touches it, he can feel that, okay, this is a 200 rupee note. He can identify, because this pattern is not available on any other note, right? And this note is printed in intaglio printing. That is, the Mahatma Gandhi photo, the Ashoka statue, and all these things are raised, a little raised, so that there is a tactile, the person can touch and feel. And this is what we call the guarantee clause, that I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 200 rupees by Urjit Patel. Ashoka pillar is there, and look at this. This is what you call electrotype. Can you see Gandhi image here? Probably you will not be able to appreciate right now, but there is a Gandhi image here. And you can see the number panel. The first 3 are same in size, but then the size increases as you move from left to right. This is important, as you move from left to right. And there is identification mark H also. And behind you have the Sanchi Stupa, which is very near to Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. And sometimes in the exam they ask you dimensions also. It is 66 mm into 146 mm. I repeat, 66 mm into 146 mm. The color of the note, it is bright yellow. Okay, in the options you will get yellow, green, crimson yellow. No, it is bright yellow. Remember, it is very, very specific. And Sanchi Stupa, it is a World Heritage Site since 1989. Right now there are 36 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India. Okay, now let's talk about the new note, which is the 50 rupee note. The color of the note is fluorescent blue. Fluorescent means shining, shining blue. Fluorescent blue is the color. Everything is the same. And you can see the number panel here. The first 3 are same in size, and then the size increases as you go from left to right. So it is absolutely same as the 200 rupee note. Only 1 or 2 things are different. That's all. Otherwise, same Mahatma Gandhi photo, same Ashoka emblem. But on behind, you have the Hampi chariot, the Hampi architecture. Hampi is a place in Karnataka. It is also a World Heritage Site. And Hampi well, there are caves there also, there are chariots, there are forts, and the caves, they are said to be the birthplace of Lord Hanumana of Ramayana. Lord Hanumana was born in the caves of Hampi, as is a popular belief. So all the things are same, you don't need to remember, just remember Ashoka emblem is there, and Mahatma Gandhi photo and 50 rupee, same electrotype is there, and the letters, they again become big. Then motif of Hampi with chariot is there. This is the only difference from a 200 rupee note. Now 50 rupee note does not have an inset letter. This is extremely important. It does not have an inset letter. Now where usually you will find inset letter on the note? You will find it here. The first 3 and the last 6. This empty space is where you have the inset letter. Okay. And what is the role of inset letter? Why do they insert inset letter? See, there are 4 printing press in India for Reserve Bank of India. Inset letter is a sign of which press has printed the note, and nobody knows it except for the government people. It is a secret. It is kept a secret for security purpose. And 500 rupee note. Now let me tell you something very interesting. 8th of November, Narendra Modi did demonetization, right? So 500 rupee note and 1000 rupee note were demonetized. Now 1000 rupee note is put out of circulation, but 500 rupee note, they said there is a new note now. Okay, that is note just after demonetization that was printed. It had the inset letter E. But now there is a new 500 rupee note that has been put into circulation. It has the inset letter A. So remember, in November 2016, the 500 rupee note had the inset letter E, and now the new 500 rupee note that has been put into circulation just 3 or 4 months back, it has inset letter A, and it has a photo of Red Fort. Now I asked you the question, Sagar Samrat, it is on 1 rupee note. Also, let me talk about England now. You know that in England the currency is pound. So this is the 10 pound note, and on the 10 pound note they have put the photo of Jane Austen, who was a great novelist, because it was her 200th death anniversary. So to commemorate her, to give her honor, her photo was put on the note, and no lady in UK has photo on her note except Jane Austen, apart from Queen Elizabeth, of course. And also they have already declared, England, that in 2020 the famous England painter JMW Turner, his photo will be put up on the 20 pound note. They have already announced it 3 years in advance. And Jane Austen, she wrote many novels like Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, and Emma. And also remember that there was a famous dialogue of her from the novel Pride and Prejudice, which is, I declare after all, there is no enjoyment like reading. This also is written on the note. Also, it is the first note from the Bank of England, which is the central bank of England. Just like we have RBI in India, they have Bank of England, to include a tactile feature to help the visually impaired and blind people. Now let's talk about our public sector banks. You know there are 27 public sector banks in India, and all are in huge trouble. So when Modi took over, I am talking about March 2014. So Modi took over in May 2014. So just before Modi took over, there was non-performing asset of 2.4 lakh crore rupees. Okay. So for example, if you have taken a loan from the bank of 1 crore rupees, and in the 90 days you have not given any interest or you have not given any installment back, then it is called a non-performing asset. So 90 days is the time. Now it is not an official time, but it is a generally accepted time, and 30 days is the time for declaring it is a bad loan. So if you have taken a loan of 1 crore rupees and in 1 month or 30 days you have not given any installment or you have not given any interest on it, then it will be classified as a bad loan. But if the time increases and it crosses 90 days, it will be called as a non-performing asset. So when Narendra Modi took over, our non-performing assets were 2.4 lakh crore rupees. Now there are 12 lakh crore rupees in 3 years time. 12 lakh crore rupees is the non-performing asset. That is why I will tell you something which is a little different. This time you found that in the 4th, bi-monthly monetary policy, that was I think on 3rd of October, there was no rate cut, and festive season is coming. And all the time government cuts the repo rate, so that more money can reach the banks, and therefore more money can reach the public, so that they can do shopping in the festive season. This time there was no rate cut. Why? Because the government is scared that already there are 12 lakh crore of non-performing asset, and on top of that, if we give more loans to the public, then they might increase. That is why there was no rate cut. It has happened for the first time. Very rarely it happens that during the festive season there is no rate cut. There is a rate cut, always. And Now what happened this time was that the bank union, which is called the United Forum of the Bank Union, they decided that 19 July. Now 19 July also happens to be the 48th anniversary of the nationalization of major banks in India. So they said that July 19 we will observe as Save Public Sector Banks Day. Such is the precarious situation. They decided to keep a day for saving our banks, and government has been a complete failure when it comes to the banking segment, and banking has become costly also. Earlier banks were at 15% service tax. Now they are put into 18% GST. So banking of course has become costlier also, which goes against the central government's theme that we will make financial inclusion, we will make the banking reach every corner of the country. If the banking becomes costlier, then it will become less attractive to the poor people of the country. Now let's talk about black money. So black money, well, government said that any amount over 2 lakh rupees you cannot pay in cash now. It has to be paid by check, any prepaid instrument, check, draft, or you can do NEFT, you can do RTGS, you can do IMPS, but you cannot give in cash. Now, what is the difference between NEFT and RTGS? Both are electronic ways of fund transfer, and RTGS means real-time gross settlement. Money reaches almost instantly in RTGS, that time only. In NEFT, it goes in batches. For example, if you are sending money at 9:30, it will reach at 10 o'clock in the next batch. And also, you will need to add your account, and for that, there might also be time, 3 to 4 hours generally it takes, sometimes as high as 24 hours it takes. And RTGS, the only major difference is that in an NEFT, there is no money limit, lower limit and upper limit. In RTGS, there is no upper limit, but there is a lower limit. Minimum 2 lakh rupees you have to transfer by RTGS. That is the limit. So RTGS is mostly done for the big transfers, Now, black money, well, 2 lakh rupees or above you cannot pay by cash. Also, if you are transferring your immovable property, receiving or repaying 20,000 or more in cash is also banned. What is immovable property? Property is of two types. Movable property is like your gold, for example, you can carry it in your pocket. That is movable, right? Your car, that is all movable property. But your land, now you cannot take land with you wherever you go. It will be there only. So it is immovable property. So receiving or repaying 20,000 rupees or more in cash for transfer of immovable property is banned, and paying more than 10,000 rupees in cash relating to expenditure of business or profession is also banned. So for example, you have a company, okay? Now you want to pay 25,000 rupees salary to your receptionist. Can you pay in cash? No. More than 10,000 you cannot pay in cash. Now let's take some cases. For example, let's say you have bought 4 items, okay? 4 items from someone. You are A, person is B. You have bought 4 items. One item is 60,000, second is 60,000. All the 4 items are 60,000, right? Now individually, all the items are less than 2 lakh. So can you pay this person 2.4 lakh combined in a transaction? Because you are not paying for one transaction, you are paying for 4. So can you pay for multiple items from the same person if you have bought it, even they are less than 2 lakh rupee? No. These 4 items will be clubbed together and then the bill will be generated. So you cannot fool the government like that, okay, I am buying instead of one item, 4 items. No, it's not like that. Second, let's say you are buying one item only and the price of it is 3 lakh rupees. Okay, so you generate today 1 lakh rupee you pay, tomorrow 1 lakh, and day after tomorrow 1 lakh. Now all the 3 transactions are 1 lakh rupee in cash. Can you do like that? Because no one transaction, no, you can't do like that also. That is also fooling the government, because it is 3 lakh rupees the worth. So you can't say, okay, in one time I am paying 1 lakh only. Tomorrow I will pay 1 lakh, day after tomorrow I will pay 1 lakh. This is not permitted. This is banned. And you will attract 100% penalty. So for example, 3 lakh rupee if you pay like that by cash to someone, you will have to pay a penalty of 3 lakh rupees if caught. Another important case. See, you need to understand that this 2 lakh rupee limit on cash, it is not restricted to income alone. Okay. So for example, let's say you have taken a loan of 10 lakh rupees from the bank. Okay, now you want to repay the loan back to the bank. So you go to the bank and you pay 3 lakh rupees as your installment. Can you do that? 3 lakh rupees in cash, can you give to the bank? No, you can't. So you can't pay your loan with cash more than 2 lakh rupee. Again, it applies to reimbursement also. You can't accept gift from relative. You can't say that, okay, 3 lakh rupees I am getting from him and it is a gift. There is nothing like a gift from a relative. It is more than 2 lakh rupee. Government has made it very clear. Also, you can't have a receipt of an agriculture income or other tax exempt receipts. They are also within the purview of this thing. So government has become very strict in this regard. But there are some reasonable exemptions which have been given. For example, there is a marriage of your daughter. Okay, so people come and they give these envelopes which have money, right? So for example, you have invited 1000 people in the marriage, and all the 1000 people, they give 1000 rupees to your daughter as a gift. Now, is that permissible? Yes, that is permissible. So when for one event or occasion there are multiple people involved, then this limit is not there, 2 lakh rupee cash. Okay, so if you accumulate all of it, it becomes 10 lakh rupee in cash. So you will not be penalized because it is from the multiple people, and some reasonable restrictions are there, but also some reasonable exemptions are also there. So for marriage, for some events, all this is not kept under the purview. Another important thing, let's say you have 3 lakh rupees from somewhere. Okay, you have 3 lakh rupees as your saving or something. Now you get to know that okay, 2 lakh is you can't pay 2 lakh. So you want to keep this 3 lakh rupees safe in your bank. So you go to your bank and you go you go to the bank and you deposit this 3 lakh rupee. Can you do that? 3 lakh rupees in cash, can you deposit in your own bank account? Yes, you can do that. It will not come under the penalty provision. Now, latest notification of the government, this came on 3rd of July 2017. See, if you are paying your credit card bill, then you can give more than 2 lakh rupees also cash. Okay, because you are paying your credit card bill. Why they have done it? Because see, credit card, you have already paid everything electronically. It is in the books of the Reserve Bank of India now. So you can't escape. You are paying, let's say your credit card bill is 5 lakh rupee. So yes, you can pay 5 lakh cash to your credit card bill. It's okay. Because you have already shown all the transactions in your credit card statement with the Reserve Bank of India. So it's okay. You can pay your credit card bill and the limit will not apply. 2 lakh rupee limit will not apply. And I told you 100% penalty you will have to pay. That is under the Finance Act of 2017. But Income Tax Department, they have exempted 5 entities from the purview of the same. That 5 entity I will tell you just now. But before I'll tell you that they inserted 269 ST in the Income Tax Act for that bans the cash dealings in a single day with respect to the 2 lakh ceiling. Now let me tell you which are the 5 things that have been exempted. Receipts by a business correspondent on behalf of a banking company or a cooperative bank are exempt. Receipts by a company or institution issuing the credit card is exempt. Receipt from an agent or an issuer of prepaid payment instrument are exempt. White label ATM receipts are also exempt, but if they are from retail outlet only. Now white label ATM is a ATM from a non-banking financial company. And receipt which is not includable in the total income under the clause 17A of the section 10 of the IT Act 1961 have been excluded from the purview of the section 269 ST. But remember this section, it is extremely important, 269 ST. Now let's talk about Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. This bank was established in Beijing on 25 December 2015, and I will tell you why. See, World Bank is there, International Monetary Fund is there, Asian Development Bank is there. These are the 3 biggest banks. Now, multilateral banks, as so to say, like in many countries are a member of these banks. World Bank is headquartered in Washington DC, and the maximum share in World Bank is of America and Europe. IMF, again America and Europe. Asian Development Bank, America and Japan. So China was feeling a bit left out. China wanted a bank which it can dominate, and it can increase its sphere of influence, because after all, China has huge ambitions. It also wants to replace the reserve currency of the world from dollar to yuan. So these are some of the initiatives that China is taking. So they established just 2 years back, not even 2 years have completed, and the ex-finance minister of China, Jin Liqun, was made the president of this bank. Okay, it is called Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and ex-finance minister of China, Zhou Liwei, he was also made the first chairman of the bank's council. But remember, president is asked in the exam, Jin Liqun, he is the ex-finance minister of China. It is headquartered in Beijing. Don't get confused between Beijing and Shanghai. Beijing is a little far from Shanghai, and Shanghai is the headquarters of New Development Bank called BRICS Bank, not the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And there are 57 members in this bank. 37 are from Asia region, mainly regional, and 20 are non-regional members. Also, what is the voting share? Now, this bank is very different from other bank. Voting share is not decided by the amount of capital that you have put in the bank, but by your size of the economy. So after China, you will be surprised that second highest share is of India in this bank, whereas in Asian Development Bank, India's share is 4th after Japan, America and China. Largest shareholder is China. It has the wealth that is there in the bank. 30.34 is of the authorized capital is of China, and its voting share is 26.06%. India, it has a stake of 8.52 in the authorized capital and voting share is 7.5%. Now, how it is benefiting India? It is also giving loans to India, and in Gujarat Road project, that is in Gujarat, 1060 villages will be connected by roads in all the 33 districts in Gujarat. And our minister for that is Nitin Gadkari, who is a Lok Sabha MP from Nagpur. He is also the minister for water resources, Ganga rejuvenation and river development. So to build roads in Gujarat, $329 million loan has been given to the government of Gujarat by Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Now there is another project, that is the Andhra Pradesh power project. See, in Andhra Pradesh, a lot of things are going on. Like for example, Polavaram project is going on. It's a dam project which will stabilize the Krishna Delta. That is one of the chief objectives of the Polavaram project. Now also remember that in Andhra Pradesh, there is a lot of problem of power. So to boost power and to make power affordable and make it reliable and qualitative, $380 million of loan is required. That is being given by not just AIIB but World Bank also. So they are investing in the ratio of 60:40. 60 of World Bank, 40 is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So how much amount have 380 split it into two parts. 240 is the share of World Bank and 140 million is the share of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So total it becomes $380 million. And also remember, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank will hold their third meeting. It will be their third meeting since the inception of the bank in 2015 December, and it will take place in India in Mumbai. That was recently announced. Now let's talk about Yes Bank. Again, it is a big bank. Rana Kapoor. Rana Kapoor is the owner of Yes Bank. It's a private bank. It has signed a deal with Santander company in United Kingdom. It is Yes Bank. It is India's fourth largest private sector bank, and India's largest private sector bank is ICICI. Okay, so basically they want to increase the trade between India and UK. So that is why they have partnered with Santander. Now let's talk about Axis Bank. Axis Bank Managing Director is Shikha Sharma. Axis Bank has rolled out a scheme where they will fund Superbike. So now in India, middle class is getting rich. You know, there is a burgeoning middle class and they want to buy bikes, heavy bikes, costly bike which are more than 500cc, like Harley Davidson, like the Hayabusa, Triumph and so on. So for that, up to 95% financing will be done by the Axis Bank. They have launched a loan scheme for the super bikes in India. Now let's talk about Russian Development Bank. Russian Development Bank has partnered with a company in India called SREI. It is an infrastructure finance company, and together they have created a $200 million innovation fund which will help Indian IT companies and other technological companies to do innovation. And Narendra Modi had visited St. Petersburg, if you remember, when he was on a visit to Russia, and that time this MOU was signed. So remember that SREI is headquartered in Kolkata. Its chairman and managing director is Hemant Kanoria. Now let's talk about Indus OS. What is Indus OS? And if I ask you what is the old name of Indus OS? So old name of Indus OS is First Touch. Okay, and what is it? It is the world's first regional operating system made for smartphones, and it is Indian. It is being made in India, and it is also being active in other emerging market, and a lot of languages are there. Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, almost all the Indian languages are there on this operating system. It is a mobile operating system, regional operating system for smartphones. Remember that. Now you can use unified payment interface platform on Indus, and also you can simply pay using now with SMS, messages, WhatsApp. It's a very convenient. And remember that the UPI has been linked to Aadhaar card also now to make it more secure. And 35% payments which happen on UPI now are being done with Yes Bank. That is what Yes Bank claims. Okay, and Indus was called First Touch, and in fact Indus OS is being used after Android. You know, like Android is the most used. Second most used is now Indus OS, even more than the Apple platform, that is the iOS platform and the Windows platform. So it has been gaining traction, and it was founded in 2015 by Rakesh Deshmukh, Akash Dongre and Sudhir B. The CEO is Rakesh Deshmukh of the company, and they have also launched their own app marketplace which is called App Bazaar. Now let's talk about Employees Provident Fund Organization. It has tied up with 5 banks in India to collect Provident Fund dues. Earlier, what was the problem they were facing? So they have partnership, earlier I'm telling about Employees Provident Fund Organization. They only had partnership with State Bank of India. Okay, only with State Bank of India they had partnership. But then what they did was they also partnered with Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, Indian Bank, Union Bank of India and State Bank of India. Now State Bank of India already was a partner with PNB, Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, Indian Bank and Union Bank of India. So they partnered with a lot of banks. Why? So that the people who avail the employees Provident Fund, who invest in Provident Fund, they can submit their dues. Because earlier what was happening was, since it had only partnered with SBI, so there is of course the money that interoperable between banks, money they have to pay. If you have account in some other bank and you are transferring to some other bank, so because of that they were incurring heavy charges. Now since they have partnered with a lot of banks, and they made a historic decision, which was that we will not only partner with the public sector banks, but we will also partner with the private bank. So earlier they collected dues from all of these banks, but all of these banks, Allahabad Bank, PNB, Indian Bank and Union Bank of India, they are all public sector bank. But now they have done collaboration with private banks also. Okay, with how many banks? 5 banks. Out of these 5 banks, only Bank of Baroda is a government bank, rest all are private. ICICI Bank is private, President is Chanda Kochar. HDFC Bank, Aditya Puri is the managing director, it is also private. Axis Bank, Shikha Sharma, private. Kotak Mahindra, Uday Kotak is the chairman, again private. So these are all private banks, okay. And Bank of Baroda is a public sector bank. They are saying we will save around 125 crore rupees a year because of that, because there will be zero transaction charges between the banks. And in fact, they were spending around 350 crore rupees a year just because of transaction charges. Now they have reduced it to 175 crore after partnering with so many banks. And now they are saying, since we are partnered with 5 more banks now, our money will be further reduced to 50 crore a year. So they will save money. Now let's talk about South Indian Bank. South Indian Bank has tied up with PFG Forex. Forex means foreign exchange. The people who invest in foreign exchange, they would know. And this is regarding remittance facility for the benefit of Indian expatriates from Australia. What does this exactly mean? What is the meaning of expatriate? See, expatriate is a person who is of one country but he works in another country. So if I am saying Indian expatriates means what? Those Indians who are working in Australia, of course they need to send money back to India, because let me tell you that when it comes to remittances or sending money back to India, India is number 1 in the world. India is sending 65 billion worth of money every year. Second is China. So India sends most money, and they send from Australia to India also, and for that they need some facility. So PFG Forex will come handy in that. You can simply go to PFG Forex outlet in Australia and you can send money to India. Now let's talk about ICICI Fairfax. They have terminated their agreement. What agreement was this? See, Fairfax is a company which was in 1994 acquired a company called Continental Canada, and they called it Lombard. And in 2000, ICICI they partnered with Lombard to launch ICICI Lombard Insurance. And ICICI General recently became a company which had 10,000 crore worth of premium in 2000 financial year 2017. That is what the company claims. Now they are launching their IPO, initial public offering, and there is a rule that if you want to launch your IPO, you have to terminate your X agreement. So that is why, because you have to show your company as profitable for IPO and all that technicalities. So Fairfax, which owns Lombard, they have terminated their agreement with the ICICI Bank. Now let me tell you, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank and State Bank of India, these are the only 3 banks in India which have got the status of domestic systemically important bank from the Reserve Bank of India. Now let me share a bad news. If you have an account in State Bank of India like me, and I'm sure you have, then if you have less than 1 crore rupee, the chances of which are almost 100% like me, I have less than 1 crore rupee. So I will be paid only 3.5% savings interest. Earlier I was getting paid 4% interest. But those people, those bigwigs who have more than 1 crore rupees, they will get 4% interest in their savings account as announced by the Reserve Bank of India. State Bank of India. And State Bank of India have a new chairman now. Arundhati Bhattacharya is history now. She retired on 6th of October. Now they have Rajneesh Kumar, who is the new chairman of the State Bank of India. And you will get only 3.5% savings account interest if the money in your bank is less than 1 crore rupees. Reserve Bank of India has put a penalty on Union Bank because it was not following Know Your Customer norms, rules and regulations. That is why 3 crore rupee penalty. There were 2 cases. In one case 2 crore, in another case 1 crore. Total 3 crore rupees penalty has been put on the Union Bank of India. Its CEO is Arun Tiwari and headquartered in Mumbai. Canara Bank, it is a bank from Karnataka. It has started it has launched their digital branch in Bengaluru. This is the first paperless branch. It is a digital branch. It will not use any paper. It will use robots and all the digital paraphernalia. This branch is called now Candy, and CEO of Canara Bank is Rakesh Sharma. Please note, Canara Bank is a government bank. It is not a private bank. So this is a first of a kind initiative by any public sector bank in India to launch a completely digital branch. India has been put into the breakout segment by the Digital Evolution Index, which was done by the Fletcher School of the Tufts University in partnership with the MasterCard, which is a company in US. Now, what is this exactly? What is a breakout segment? See, they estimated or appraised the digital potential of India. India is still not digital. India is still lagging behind, but it has a lot of potential, and that is why it is very attractive for the investor. That is why it has been kept into the breakout segment. So breakout segment means those countries where digital advancement is poor or less. It has still not reached. It has relatively lower level of digital advancement, but the growth is good. The investors are finding it attractive. So that is the breakout segment, and India has been put into the breakout segment. This index measures 4 drivers of the digital ecosystem in a country: supply, consumer demand, institutional environment, and innovation. Supply, consumer demand, institutional environment, and innovation. Also remember, MasterCard CEO is an Indian. His name is Ajay Banga. Ajay Singh Banga. That is the name of the CEO and president of MasterCard. Indian Overseas Bank. It has gone live with Bharat Bill Payment System. What is Bharat Bill Payment System? It was introduced by National Payment Corporation of India, and it basically offers interoperable online billing facility to customer. You can pay for your direct to home service, water bill, gas bill, electricity bill, you can pay with Bharat Bill Payment System. It is headquartered in Chennai, and CEO is Mr. R. Subramaniam Kumar. So remember, Bharat Bill Payment System, it has partnered with many banks now, but it has partnered so far with only 3 public sector banks. That you need to remember. So one is of course now Indian Overseas Bank. It is a public sector bank, Sarkari bank, then Bank of Baroda and Union Bank of India. And National Payment Corporation of India has got the approval from Reserve Bank of India. Finally, they can operate using Bharat Bill Payment System. And remember that more than 45 crore, 450 million bills are permitted under the Bharat Bill Payment System. Now, this is something important that you need to remember, that most of the bills, like for example, let's talk about power bills. They are the bulk of the bill. 18 crore people, 18 crore bills are generated every month of power sector, and only 10% are paid digitally. So only 1.8 crore are paid digitally out of 18 crore. Now, what the problem is, government has kept a very ambitious target. They are saying that when the 2017 financial year, that is 2017-18, 31st March 2018, when this financial year or current fiscal will end, we want to generate 2,500 crore bills. Now this is crazy, because they are saying 2,500 crore digital bills we want to generate, 2,500 crore digital transactions we want to make. And I mean, government gives very ambitious targets, but let's see if this will be fulfilled, because power bills are only, out of 2,500 crore, power bills are only 18 crore. And out of that 18 crore also, 1.8 crore are only paid digitally. So let's see. And National Payment Corporation of India, if you want to know what it is an umbrella organization for all the retail payments in India. It was set up with the guidance of Reserve Bank of India and Indian Banks Association. And the authorized capital was pegged at 300 crore and paid up capital was 100 crore. 100 crore is also the amount that you need to open a small finance bank in India. And it was incorporated as a Section 25 under the Companies Act of 1956, which now became Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013. And chairman is Mr. Balachandran M. So this was part 2 of banking awareness. I hope you enjoy my English coverage, and very soon I will bring part 3. Be patient, and probably day after tomorrow I will bring you the part 3. Thanks for watching.